Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. I'm very excited to be coming to you from the road. As you can tell, these are not my usual settings, and that is a-okay. I am always in the mood for Heroes of Might and Magic wherever the road may take me. And today is going to be a playthrough where I'm going to have to use all of my wits to make sure that I don't get burned, singed, slashed, and otherwise eaten as I attempt to train more than one, more than two, more than 25,000 dragons. I don't know how many it's going to be, but at the end of the day, this is going to come down to a dragon war. And so with that being said, let me take you on the quick tour of the preamble. Here in Dragon Wars, this is going to be a 3-player XL map. Very interesting that as an extra large map, there's only going to be 3 players. We are going to have so much room to roam, and I really like that idea. That means that adventuring is going to come at a premium, but it might also mean that we might struggle if there's some thematic elements that keep us from being tip-top shape and overwhelming our opponents. We do, as you can see here, have a couple of win conditions and loss conditions. So number 1, victory condition, we have to defeat all heroes and towns. And then this is a little interesting. We cannot lose a specific town. I think that this might be the second or third scenario that we've ever played. I think River Crossing is the one that comes to my mind, where you cannot lose a specific town. This makes things quite interesting. There's no trading of castles, and we're not really going to need to or want to, but all the same, do not lose your castle. This is denoted as being a hard difficulty map, and it says, 3 warlocks in the land of dragons. Lose thy home, and all will be lost. Conquer thy enemies, and the land shall forever be yours. We are going to play here as the blue warlocks. We have a green opponent and a red opponent, both warlocks. We're going to put this on impossible difficulty, and we're going to dive right in. Worth noting, by the way, your eyes do not deceive you. We are playing in a different resolution. I'm playing on 960 by 540 x2 kind of a deal. Usually I play on 1280 720. I've been given the feedback that, hey, FixFox, the game is great, your playthroughs are wonderful, but it's really hard to see what's going on. I'm going to just give this a try, and we're going to see how this bigger resolution works out. I kind of like this maybe a little bit more, just so we can see what's going on. We don't have to use our speculum, our eyeglasses, to be able to peer into the depths of the game any further than we otherwise have to. We start off with Vesper the Warlock, level 1 hero, 0 attack, 0 defense, 3 spell power, 2 knowledge, and we have 7 centaurs and 3 gargoyles to our name. Not too bad. A good starting hero, I am sure. We do have this castle here. This is the castle of Night Shadow, so this must be the castle that we cannot lose. We're gonna have to keep that in mind. We start off with the Centaur Cave and with the parapet for the gargoyles, or otherwise known as in Heroes of Might and Magic 2, the Crypt. No purchases that we can make at this time because we are out of resources. I'm going to leave Vesper here, and I note that we do have Agar the Warlock coming up pretty quickly. I'm going to plan on just having Vesper leave everybody but 1 gargoyle, and Vesper is probably going to be the scout, and he's not going to be the primary hero unless we come across something really wild and crazy. I do see this road. We've picked up 7 wood. Looks like we picked up about 1,000 gold there, and a little bit of extra ore here as well. Not too bad, 10 ore. There's a sign, and if you know FixFox, you know I have to pick up the sign whenever I see it. This sign says, stick to the road. Yes, sir. We are going to stick to this road. I see skeletons to the south. It looks like there might be a really nice shrine for a 2nd level spell not too far away. We should give that a try. Oh, wait, excuse me. 1st level spell. But 1st level spell, 2nd level spell, any spell is a good spell. We're going to pick up 800 gold there, and we are going to be out of movement points for the day. I am going to pick up probably the well. The well always seems like a really safe kind of an option. You're going to want it in the first week anyway, and this is going to make sure that I don't trip on all over myself, spend gold that I otherwise need for something else, and then be sad later. 2,000 gold or the 1,500 experience. I'm going to take the gold here, and I think that that's immediately going to give me the opportunity to pick up Agar the Warlock. I see no reason why I ought not to get a secondary hero right now. We're going to pull in all these creatures, and more than the gargoyles, I think I am going to purchase these centaurs. 1,300 gold left. I could get the statue, and I think that might be my purchase. If we're not going to leave here with griffins, then let's pick up the statue. That's going to help us get the nest anyway, and that's going to be the final bit of our gold. 25 centaurs is going to have to carry us in some of these fights. While Vesper the Warlock can carry on via the road, I think that it's going to really determine whether or not we go this direction based off of this witch's hut. The luck is going to be required for us to stop in, not only with Vesper, but also Agar. Very interesting, an abandoned mine guarded by lots of ghosts. I have to tell you, one of my favorite advantages that you have with your 5th level creatures, the Hydras for the Warlocks, is that they clean up ghosts really pretty well. And so I'm very excited to get up the Hydras and then get ourselves a free gold mine. As we get off of this lava terrain, let's all appreciate the subtle sounds of the grass theme. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I could listen to this all day, and in fact, I just might. Okay, I see this. Folks, this is one of my favorite artifacts that you can ever find in any iteration of Heroes of Might and Magic. The True Compass of Mobility gives you additional movement points on land and by sea, and it's only guarded by lots of centaurs. They are going to be prime pickings for a couple of gargoyles. I think that means I'm going to pick up this gold for now, and then I'm going to head north and grab this treasure chest, and we're going to see how far Vesper can go with what he has. We have picked up enough gold that we can crit the rest of these gargoyles, and with that, rather than go through these skeletons, we're going to go through the Witch's Hut to pick up the +1 to our luck. Basic luck. You approach the hut and observe a witch inside studying an ancient tome on luck. An ancient and immortal witch living in a hut with bird legs for stilts teaches you that luck for her own inscrutable purposes. And then we're going to leave this abandoned mine for now. We're probably going to grab the gazebo and then head south. Even one additional level might help things go just a little bit better than they otherwise would have. Going to be 1,500 gold here that we pick up. I do want to pick up this gazebo for Vesper. If it's something like diplomacy, if it's something like scouting, that can always be useful. I think that logistics might be my favorite secondary hero skill. So we're going to pick up the scouting more than the diplomacy. I don't know how likely it is that the diplomacy is going to help my secondary hero. And along the road, we do find our ore mine. So wonderful place for us to be. We're going to grab that in just a moment. And as we pick up this gazebo here, an old knight appears at the steps of the gazebo. My liege, I will teach you all that I know to aid you in your travels. It's going to be the opportunity for either navigation or scouting for our primary hero. I have to tell you, it was on the FixFox Discord that I did get requested to play this scenario. Someone said, hey, you should play this at some point. And they did send the map outline, and I can tell you right now, it looks pretty cool. It's going to be that of a dragon, but there is a little bit of water on the map. I didn't really take a close look at the map, but I do know that it kind of looks like a dragon, and I do kind of remember that there is water, but I'm going to have to take a little bit of a quick look here to see something real quick. Yeah, it is of a dragon, and it looks like we are going to be on the left eye. There is water on this map, and that person, the reason I'm looking this up is because I want to see who it was, so that way I can give them credit. Lytian recommended this scenario, so we're going to play it. I don't think that there's going to be enough water for me to justify taking the navigation here. We're going to stick with the basics or the expert scouting, and we're going to take that on to see these centaurs right now. Let's split up our troops. Let's go into, let's call it 4 stacks of 3 and 1 stack of 2. And let's do some damage. A glorious victory, no losses. I chalk that up to our gargoyles hopping right on these enemies and making sure that they have a real bad time. We're going to grab these griffins, and we're going to go on to day 4, picking up our ore mine, picking up some gold, and it looks like more centaurs guarding a gem mine. That's actually kind of nice, as we do see our sawmill as well. The gem mine is always worthwhile because the issue that you can occasionally run into is a little bit of a bottleneck when it comes down to getting your minotaurs. Nobody wants to get the minotaurs that are non-upgraded. You want to get your upgraded minotaur kings, and gems can be a little bit of a barrier to that if you're not careful. So the early gem mine, that solves a couple of problems. An old man claiming to be an inventor asks you to try his latest invention. He then hands you a compass. Wonderful, wonderful. And I don't see anything else in this little area here. I think that we're going to head potentially up north. I mean, we got a couple of options. We can go through these skeletons here, and there's another witch's hut that could be useful. Maybe we're going to have enough gold to send another hero this direction. Maybe I should clear out these troops as I go back to pick up griffins. Then again, I could go and try and deal some damage to some centaurs now. How valuable is the early gems? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and clear out these skeletons, so that way I can send a second hero south to scout, and then I'm going to send the bulk of my forces up to the gem mine. That seems like a good way that I can get a little bit of both. A little bit of pressure on the map by doing some early scouting, opening up some of those, call it trading routes, more like avenues to scout, and then also trying to secure the means of production by picking up those gems. This sawmill is going to be 2 extra wood per day, so we have our ore and we have our wood. And this observation tower is pretty exciting because this seems to be in the very center of the map. I'm sure this is going to tell us an awful lot. First thing I notice is this tree city. That's going to be a nice pickup. We can potentially use that even with a secondary hero to go and claim some things. Sulfur. Got to go get the sulfur mine right now. I don't care what else is here. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Although, Quicksilver, the green castle is here at this position here. We've got Barak, we've got Alamar, and they start off with crystal and sulfur. That's going to be kind of interesting there. This is going to be a map where there is an ultimate artifact. Let's keep an eye on that as well. But sulfur, crystal, yeah, this feels okay. And what else do we see? It looks like interesting patches of swamp that separate grass area. I believe that the swamp is to make the picture of this map. If you've seen the map Hail Unicorns, you'll know that the map maker was trying to make something pretty nifty here. And we're going to get a look at this big ghastly brute as we explore more of the map over time. For now though, that seems to be my big thing. Let's just come back for the gems later. Let's get the sulfur right now. It's unguarded, and then perhaps we'll just carry on. I don't think the skeletons with sprites is my best bet, but we'll see. Maybe we'll come back. Let's go grab these lots of skeletons. Glorious victory. I think I can win this fight without many losses. I'm not going to say without any losses, but without many losses if I can just keep these centaurs alive and let them do the damage. Sometimes the AI, whether it's Heroes Might and Magic 2 Gold or whether it's the FHeroes2 version, they tend to enjoy sending your gargoyles down the battlefield to mix it up and do tons of damage. And while I honor them for their desire to find glorious battle, I do worry that, hey, maybe, just maybe, we should let the ranged damage kick in before we really worry about taking some losses. Let's just let the fight develop in a natural, kind of calming sort of way. This is going to be interesting. If we kill this skeleton, then, well, if we kill either of these skeletons, actually, then the centaurs are not going to get to go. We can kill one stack. We can kill one single stack of these gargoyles. We're going to do it like this. We're going to kill this top stack. Then we're going to leave this stack alive. We're going to let them do damage, and then our centaurs are going to take a big swipe out of this big stack. One skeleton's not going to do any damage. We're going to call that a day. A glorious victory, 168 experience, no losses. That feels pretty good. And I feel obligated. I don't want to grab this witch's hut, but this Shrine of the First Circle, I feel like going out of my way to grab it right now could be useful. Shield. Actually, Shield is a really surprisingly good level 1 spell. A lot of people kind of would potentially lump it into the same category as you would, say, picking up a Dispel from a first level shrine. And while there is not a lot of direct combat value as far as hurting people, keeping your big stack of valuable creatures alive, that never is out of style. That is always in style, and that always feels pretty good. By the way, Haste, Curse, Bloodlust. No magic arrow, no other damaging spell. We saw how valuable the magic arrow was in the previous playthrough of Mountain King. We saw that a little bit of magic damage can go an awful long way. And so, all the same, I do like these spells we just picked up for Sarakin. He's going to have the Haste, Curse, and Bloodlust, as will Agar as soon as he can get back in action. The Haste is actually a really nice spell. Green is continuing to push out. We're going to ignore everything except for the sulfur. Sulfur is what matters here. And my secondary hero, Vesper here, his whole job is to never, ever, ever pocket anything but gold. If a peasant comes up with a hungry child and says, "Sir, please, my child, they're starving," and he feels so inclined to distribute the gold amongst the peasantry, I'm sorry, but that's just not going to work for me. Your job, Vesper, is not to be generous. It's your job to bring me gold. Don't you dare take any experience that I didn't tell you to. Basic pathfinding. I think that we've already seen that the pathfinding is going to be pretty useful here for these swampy areas. Even reducing the penalty by just a little bit, I think that's going to matter. I don't really know. Well, let's go off-roading. Let's just kind of give it a shot. And that actually is nice because now I know I can take Agar up here, pick up this basic pathfinding. I don't think that it's going to be ever against my best interests to do that. And up here in Night Shadow, we're going to have at least up to Griffins to pick up. We're somewhere in the middle of this week, and I'm wondering if I should pick up another hero. 1200 gold today. We could pick up the dungeon if we wanted to wait. I feel like on an XL map with only 3 players and seeing all this random kind of spacing, I wonder if you're going to be able to send heroes out without any kind of force. Rogues, sprites, not that tough to deal with, but they guard stuff. They guard the different paths that could take you places. And so sending out a hero without any forces, like 1 boar, I don't know how useful that's going to be, but I think I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it if I'm going to do it later on, I might as well do it now and just get the value from a hero that's going to do some serious scouting for me. I did leave 1 boar behind kind of for this purpose. So let's have Dimitri the Knight, level 1 hero. He's going to go south, and he's going to go the opposite way that our dear friend Sarakin goes. By the way, Sarakin, I was happy to meet his acquaintance. He is a French Heroes of Might and Magic 2 enthusiast, and I know him through the recent map, the Skills Challenge, and it was very nice to meet him and get to see his namesake in the game. So very wonderful to make headway and inroads with our friends in the Heroes of Might and Magic community, near and far, wherever they may be. Folks, we found a new town. This is the town of Hilltop. That looks pretty good to me as we pick up 2,000 gold. And this observation tower, I think I'm going to grab the observation tower now before I do anything else. Okay, that is fantastic. We have the Nomad's Boots. If we can combine the Nomad's Boots and the True Compass of Mobility, we're going to be feeling really good. Lots of centaurs, though. We do have sprites at the Tree City. Peasants. Centaur. Watchtower. Back of orcs. It depends on how many sprites are here in this Tree City. 2 Tree Cities. There's 2 Tree Cities. We might not have to do much in this scenario to send troops north. We might just try and let Vesper, with his basic luck, fend for himself and just rally the forces that are nearby. Very interesting. I think I'm gonna give that a shot. And we got 20 wood. I think that with 20 wood, I'm gonna grab the Thieves Guild. Do you want the dungeon or do you want the Thieves Guild? I want the dungeon, but I think that if I grab the Thieves Guild, I'll be feeling pretty good because I can decide whether or not I want to try and take this town up here. If there are dragons in the town of Hilltop, I'm going to be very distraught. There's not. Centaurs, gargoyles, griffins. Probably more than I want to deal with just halflings, but if I can clear out all this, go south, grab me some sprites, yeah. I think that we might have a plan here. And Vesper is actually going to be a pretty good secondary hero after all the experience is said and done, I think. We're going to have to wait and find out, but I've got a vibe here. I've got a feeling. Sometimes I have questions and no answers, and sometimes I have answers and no questions. Wait, does that make sense? Sometimes I just say stuff. And I'm always working on getting better at simply saying less, but meaning more. I really appreciate people that can get across their point as succinctly and with as few words as possible. There just seems to be a skill that people that really work at their communication can do. They can do some pretty fantastic stuff if they simply slow down and say what's in their heart. Don't confuse lots of words for intelligence. And with that being said, as you can tell, I'm trying to slow down my thought process so that way I can practice what I preach and be more wise with my words. I'm going to wait here with these 6-speed creatures. We're going to set off tomorrow. We're going to go grab the centaurs, and maybe this is actually going to be enough to supply Vesper enough troops. We can do a little bit of a hero chain, hero swap, but it's day 7, so we're going to end up waiting a day before we make that happen. Folks, it is a new week, and astrologers proclaim this to be week of the squirrel. I would love to be a squirrel and just know that the humans had a day for me. I'm sure that the squirrels are going to be thrilled to know that they have all of our respect and that astrologers are keeping good track of their movements. Okay, so on we go. As we head north, we are going to go through these centaurs. Before I do anything else, let me just split up these gargoyles into 3 stacks. I do think that they're going to be my best bet at dealing with these centaurs. It shouldn't be a big fight, but I do want to keep track of these things. Do I want the halflings right now? I actually don't think I do, because they're just going to slow me down. We're going to go through the halfling hole. We're going to pick up gold and all these other things. Yes, yes, no problem. And then let's go grab these sprites before we head back up north. And it looks like Sarakin is going to grab treasure and obelisk. And for the first time, we're going to see what we can see here. This looks like volcanic terrain, and this looks like trees. I wonder if... Wouldn't that be great if the Grail was right outside of our house? Is that a little too much to ask for? That might be a little too much to ask for. There are so many winding paths. I don't really know the best way of going. I know that there's treasure there. I know that there's treasure here. It looks like there's potentially more swamp in this direction. I think I'm going to head south into this kind of more unknown area as Dimitri heads further south away from Sarakin. Sarakin and Dimitri are both going to just go and find what they can. We did go out of our way with Dimitri to pick up the pathfinding from the witch's hut. That's pretty good. I think that was a good decision. And it is going to be here on day 1 of week 2 that we grab our dungeon. Probably could have grabbed that a little bit earlier. The gold has felt pretty tight. Although we are finding lots and lots of gold and resources, it feels like we're struggling just a wee bit to make sure that we're hitting our stride and making purchases where we want to. Glorious victory, 270 experience. Those centaurs were not too big of a deal at all. And we're probably going to end up probably going to go through skeletons. Yeah, probably going to go through skeletons, probably going to go through rogues as Vesper grabs sprites here, and then we're going to find a big hero chain to go back. That's sort of my plan anyway. We'll see if it works. Sarakin wants to take the experience. He does not get to. It's not your job. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. By the way, in regards to staying in your lane, I think that there's an awful lot to be said about finding what you're good at and sticking with it. I'm a big fan of trying new things. One thing that I've tried recently is I've tried some games I haven't tried before. My brother is a really generous type of person, and we had a bit of an issue, folks. My old laptop is gone. Well, it's not gone. It's still around, but it's damaged. Not irreparably, but my brother recognized that I really enjoy making these videos, and he said, well, tell you what, let me help you out with another laptop. And the previous laptop was about 8 years old, and it lasted for about 6 years, and it was the best laptop I've ever owned. But with this new laptop, I'm able to play new games and try new things I've never tried before. And so, for example, Shogun 2. Look, I'm here to stay in my lane. Heroes of Might and Magic 2, that is my lane. But I also like other games, and I'm interested in other games. And all of a sudden, I'm trying games I've never tried before because I bought them, and they just never worked. I never had a computer that would really run them. Now we're finding out that, hey, we can play some new games. Heroes 5, for example, it could have played on the other computer I had, the other laptop, just not optimally, just not well. I loaded up Heroes 5 and I didn't actually really start anything, but I got far enough into it to realize, oh yeah, I remember not being able to even watch this cutscene, and now we can. So thanks to my brother, we have some new opportunities, again, staying in our lane, but also some opportunities for expansion and to try things that FixFox has never tried before. So very grateful to my brother for that. I'm very excited to kind of see what opportunities we have in the near future. I hope, I'm just excited. We're going to see how it goes. Some of the downsides to that, having a new laptop, for example, though, is that I don't have some of the saves that I had before for certain games. Those are on the other computer, and I'm sure I could probably find a way to get those back off. But for example, here in Heroes of Might and Magic 2, as we see 44 sprites coming off the board for about 2,200 gold. As I'm very sad to report that my FHeroes2 and Heroes of Might and Magic 2 top score, high score list has been reset, which is very, very sad for me. It was all full of these big, beautiful black dragons. That's just not the thing anymore, unfortunately. So, very sad to say that that's going to be a change I'm going to have to come back to and overcome a little bit. But though high scores are fun and they matter, this also gives us the opportunity to start fresh and to do things in a brand new way. And so that's what I'm going to really plan on doing, is just do things in a brand new way. Let me make sure that I leave some room for these halflings. And in fact, I'm going to make sure that I put them right where I want to. In the corner, those halflings are going to help me take out these troops, those troops. And I'm going to hope that Agar is able to spend his time with his 1 6-speed gargoyle and his true compass of mobility and grab all of this. It might be a little bit of a waste of time. I'm not too sure. We did see 1 green hero on the other side of this pack of Minotaur Kings. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing that this early, that there's not going to be a green hero. Unless they started off with dragons, there's not going to be a green hero that's so tough that I'm not going to be able to deal with them. So hopefully at least not a hero that can go through Minotaur Kings. That's a bit of a tall order too. Look how many obelisks there are. 1, 2, 3. Well, we've seen a couple anyway. It feels like there's a lot of obelisks running around on this map. I don't think I hate that. Whoa, hello, goodbye. But it is a little bit concerning whenever you see that many obelisks out there. Falagar, my dear friend, please leave me alone. Cannot ask you calmly and patiently enough. Please leave me alone. We're going to pick up the moat. Why are we picking up the moat? We are being aware of our loss condition, and that is, of course, our main castle. If we lose our castle, then we just lose the scenario. So I think that investing in the moat, left turret, right turret, I think that's going to be pretty worthwhile. We may not invest in the left turret and the right turret because the ore costs can get pretty high if we're not careful. So let's keep an eye out for that. Falagar did unfortunately take out my dear friend Dimitri, and we didn't even get a chance to really save him, did we? Wait, did I run? Did I try to run? I don't remember. And now I'm embarrassed because I don't remember if I tried to run or not. Well, anyway, we're going to send Ambrose now. Ambrose is going to go this other way. And I'm wondering if it's a bad idea to have my troops so far to the north now. I don't know the answer, but a little bit concerned. A little bit concerned. 1,000 gold there. I'm glad I've gotten as many heroes as I have. And I'll tell you what, I might want to get even more. I might want to get even more heroes than I have right now. Because this map, there are little avenues that you can explore without defeating some enemies. If I can maybe seek my fortune and find it on the map, not through simply a dungeon and a statue, which I'm sure my enemies have as well because they're warlocks, then maybe I can find my advantage by getting to resource patches first. Folks, a crystal mine. If we find a crystal mine, then we know that we are in the right spot. A crystal mine. Where's our crystal mine? It's up here, so it's not here. I'm guessing it's going to be over in this enemy territory somewhere then. We may have to conquer our green foe, so that way we can dig for an ultimate artifact in peace. We'll see if that proves true or not. Once again, ignoring the Minotaur Kings, we are going to pick up these sprites, 51 sprites. They're going to be useful later. Oh, shoot, I should have waited and grabbed them after I came back from this observation tower. Of course, because as a 4-speed creature, they are going to slow me down. So we're going to be a little bit sad about that. We're a bit a ways from our Minotaurs. Let's see if we can find a couple more gems. I don't want to trade resources for it. There's no chance in making it at this point anyway. But we're going to grab the Hydras now, hopefully the Minotaurs later. We are still missing Mercury, but we have one of everything else. Now with the Hydras, I'm guessing that on the beginning of a new week, I think we're going to go grab this abandoned mine. We may hire a new hero just to grab those Hydras and walk in that direction. We'll see how successful that strategy is. Good or bad, we'll see. Oh, there's my Alchemist Lab. Let's grab that. Glorious victory. It costs us sprites and it costs us halflings, 8 of the centaurs, 5 of the gargoyles, 19 of these griffins. I think I'm going to go down the battlefield and I'm going to attack their gargoyles with my gargoyles. And let's see, gargoyles want to go after these halflings. It didn't do very much, did it? We do kill one of the griffins with our centaurs and then griffin on griffin violence. Definitely not the way that I'm sure those in the aviary would like it. I didn't even realize that we have poor morale, but we do have troops with 3 alignments. So it would be really nice if we could find a couple of artifacts. Specifically when I see halfling holes and watchtowers and tree cities, that makes me think that morale is going to be kind of useful. I don't know if I really want to go for a knight as my primary hero, though. At this point, hold on. Let me think about this. Agar, level 2. Vesper, level 2. I could pivot into Ambrose being my primary hero, couldn't I? If it's going to be a dragon on dragon fight, hold on. If it's going to be a dragon on dragon fight, do you really want to try and defeat dragons with a magic user? No. I think... I mean, so far the only experience we've gotten is from a couple of fights in this gazebo. I think we're going to see if we can hire one more knight, one more might-based hero, barbarian or otherwise. Because I don't see one here, it's going to be day 7 in a bit. We're going to see if we can re-roll. We're going to have Ambrose head out just a little bit. If he doesn't find anything soon, we might have him turn back around. There is that green hero there. We got plenty of room to run. Let's ignore him for now and just see where things go. This is good. We mentioned just a minute ago, as we see this observation tower, we mentioned that we really needed some gems. We might get lucky here with this magic garden. We got 2 chances in the next little bit. A boat. Oh, and we can go. I think Sarakin's going to go sailing. I think he's going to grab all this. Probably not into here, but I think we're going to get a hero into the water. I wish he was a sorceress now. Don't tell him I said that, but I do wish that we had a sorceress here. Yeah, getting into the water might be one of the best things we can do. So let's make that happen as soon as we can. And I got to tell you, as a map lover of interesting maps, how do I like this map so far? Now, first of all, you can tell that the map maker is making something here. This looks to be the start of something interesting, and these big kind of swaths, these patches of swamp. It's making the picture, and I love that the observation towers are in place, so that way we're going to get to see what it is sooner rather than later. This observation tower does let us see Tyro the Knight. Maybe this was the gentleman that was a little too close to these Minotaur Kings. He's going to have vision of us. I'd love for that artifact there, by the way. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. I didn't really finish my thought earlier, by the way. The reason why I stopped myself and I thought to myself maybe I should go for a knight, if you recall, was actually because I was mentioning all the different dwellings that we've seen on the map so far. All of these different dwellings, if you can rally a meaningful force with just a little bit of, I don't know, what do you call it? A little bit of gumption, a little bit of leadership, that can go an awful long way towards you making some good things happen. I'm also using that thought process to say to myself, look, dragons later are going to definitely benefit from the attack skill and the defense skill. But I think we got some options. So we're going to see if Ambrose stays alive or not. I don't know. We'll find out. Uh-oh. Who are you? Ooh, Alamar. And he's got Hydras. Very interesting. Okay. So we're going to leave. And we have to remember that if we're attacked by Alamar, if he does go through these Minotaur Kings, that we are going to have to stay alive because we do have this true compass ability. Let's split up our forces into multiple stacks. The only reason that might be a problem is if our enemy has Chain Lightning. I'm going to hope that they do not. 1,500 gold plus the 5 gems from the Magic Garden. Very, very nice. Crystal looks like a Witch Doctor's hut, mountain range. Very interesting. Okay. And with it being day 6, I think I'm just going to sit here. And Sarakin's going to take off at the beginning of the new week and go west into that boat. We mentioned already that we kind of have a plan to use a knight. I think that Ambrose is going to turn back around right now. I don't love doing this, but I do want him to set off tomorrow just in case, or on day 1, just in case we don't roll for a barbarian or a knight. And so with that being said, I don't think that peasants are going to move the needle. I don't think that archers are going to move the needle. These halflings with their 3 speed are actually fast enough that getting rid of the 2 speed other creatures actually makes a little bit of sense. If you're wondering why I just did that, it was literally just about the speed. And I just calculated that in my brain, it doesn't make a lot of sense to try and keep those creatures around anyway. If you disagree with me, we will disagree and we'll remain the best of friends afterwards, I'm sure. Okay, so Horde of Centaurs, Glorious Victory. And we do pick up, thankfully, a nomad trader who seeks protection from a tribe of goblins. These nomad boots are going to be wonderful because, for our assistance, the nomad has given us a finely crafted pair of boots made from the softest leather. Looking closely, we see fascinating ancient carvings engraved on the leather. So, nomad boots paired with our other boots. Ambrose is about to be super fast. He doesn't even know how fast he's about to be. But buddy, trust me, you're going to be very, very fast. We're going to head up in this direction. I don't really care if it's Agar or Vesper that's now the main hero at this point. 4 spell power, 3 knowledge. 4 spell power, 2 knowledge. I guess I might as well keep it as Vesper. How far can Vesper travel? He's going to be able to get to... Wow, he's going to be able to get far. He's going to get to their next turn. I'm going to let him do that because I want Agar to get all the way back as far as he can anyway, so that Ambrose can get a resupply. I think on day 1 it's still going to be Hydras that go through, but all the same, I'm just trying to keep track in my mind what makes the most sense. We've got our statue, we've got our dungeon, we've got a waterfall, a well, the cave, the crypt, the nest, the level 1 maze, the swamp. We're just looking for enough sulfur and ore to pick up our green tower. As soon as we can do that, we're going to be golden. Because ore is a problem, I don't know about upgrading our other town, this town of Hilltop. It might take a little while before we get that up and running. There are a couple of centaurs here, a couple creatures. I'm not going to worry about it for now. I won't worry. I think that for now, we're just going to move on to a new day. And a new week. Please, as I look at Alamar here, please don't go through a pack of Minotaur Kings. I hope that he would look at that and say that it's a little too much for him to handle. I don't know if he would or would not. We're just going to have to wait and find out for another day. Okay, so I think its sprites are all going to go in this direction. All of our warlock troops are going to go with Agar, along with the 2 artifacts. Vesper is going to head back north with 95 of these sprites and 40 of these halflings. There's still an awful lot he can clear out and more free sprites. So he's going to go do that right now. And then how far can we get? It's going to be about 2 days. Maybe 2 days? Maybe 2 days. The Agar is going to have to wait to come back to Night Shadow. We're going to end up having 550 movement points here on our friend, Ambrose. And I'm just going to have him take these 6 Hydras. I think that he can handle this. 2 attack, 2 defense. Let's give him a spell book because he's going to be our champion moving forward. And let's get the maze before anything else happens. In fact, I think that getting a couple of Minotaur Kings actually makes this fight go much better. Potentially. It potentially makes this fight go much better. So before I forget, I'm going to put this on close formation so that way the Hydras can be more effective. I know that the Minotaur Kings might cause some enemies to like kind of peel off and not focus on the Hydras, but it's a security blanket to make sure that we don't lose this fight and that I'm not surprised or overwhelmed. Lots of ghosts is still an awful lot, but I think we can do that with what we have present. 5 gems from the Magic Garden. I think that that's actually going to be enough to get ourselves into a level 2 Mage Guild. Very excited for that. And I need another hero. I needed another hero like a couple weeks ago. 4 heroes is not enough on this map. It's not enough. And I think that you could tell that. I think that you, the viewer, are a smart Heroes of Might and Magic enthusiast. I think you understand that what a hero really provides is an opportunity to do some really cool things on the battlefield. And if I'm not giving my men that opportunity to just go and be aggressive and be fantastic, then the fault is my own. I'm gonna take Agar to this point, and I'm not gonna let a bad decision linger. I'm gonna purchase Ariel, the sorceress. I'm gonna leave these dwarves. 2 dwarves aren't gonna mean anything, and she's just gonna take the sprites. Nah, she's going to take the 1 gargoyle, the 6-speed creature. I really do value the speed here, especially when there's so much of this map that still remains to be explored. And then Sarakin is going to hop into the boat, as we previously said. Okay. This feels slow. Month 1, week 3, day 2. We're getting 1 sulfur a day. We got to get this sulfur here. I don't see any other sulfur. Hopefully a campfire here or there will be useful for us, but I don't see a lot of extra sulfur. I would actually love something right now. I would love a View Mines Or a view resources, funny enough. Either of those would be great, but I don't know if I can plan on that. My 2 castles both took a swing and they both missed, so we're just going to have to count our blessings and be happy with what we have, even if it's not exactly what we think we need. There's a great song that we all must remember the wise words to. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need. And I believe that 100%. We come upon this abandoned gold mine. The mine appears to be haunted. You wish to enter? I do. Yikes. Oh, geez, that's a lot of ghosts. Well. So the haste isn't going to help because the Hydras are always going to go last. A curse isn't going to help because they're undead. A bloodlust, though. Well, I like bloodlusts. Those work pretty well for me as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to do this. Oh, geez. I think I'm going to move. I'm going to move right here so that way the Hydra can step up or over. I hope that the ghosts actually try and deal with the Hydra first. I don't know who they're going to deal with. They do go for the Hydra. 52 damage. Ouch. Run. Hydra does go down. Okay, 35 hit points left here, and we got to do some serious damage. Kill 2 to 5. We kill 9 creatures, so that was actually pretty nice. And these 2 Minotaur Kings, they're going to spend the time to whittle down this small stack of ghosts. They're kind of just in the way. Man, it's so nice to see a Hydra do tons of damage. 3 HP. So with 4 Hydras here in this stack, that 3 HP actually is kind of a big deal because with 13 attack, we're doing some pretty significant damage against their 7 defense. We're doing bonus damage to the effect of what? Let's see, 7 versus 13. 6, so 60 bonus damage. I mean, that feels pretty good to me. 38 up to 76. Let's hope that we get a big hit here. That was a big hit there. That was a huge hit. And now I feel really good to have these Minotaur Kings. They're actually very useful for us. I'm attacking the small stack because we can still do damage. Oh, yeah. And then the Minotaur Kings are less likely to get eaten, which is good. Okay, we got 1 more turn left on this Bloodlust. I think I actually want to attack this big stack of 6. Is it likely that 6 ghosts are going to kill 13 hit points worth of Minotaurs? They do, but we're still going to get our retaliation. Down to 3, down to 1, down to 2. And ghosts are scary. Ghosts are very scary. But I think that the Bloodlust helped, and I think that we got some better positioning when we fought the fight ourselves, rather than when the AI tries to fight it. So we beat the ghosts, and we restore the mind of production, and Ambrose is a little bit wiser than he was last time. Okay. I liked the advanced pathfinding because it looks like we're going to be dealing with a hefty bit of swamp. But, I mean, leadership is so good. And we've talked about maybe bringing in other forces into our army. I don't know which is better. This is a complete and total toss-up in my opinion. Never mind. It's not. For this reason. The pathfinding, we've already got the basic. It's great. It's there. It'll help out a lot. If you have advanced leadership, you might be able to make better use of the basic luck, because then you have another opportunity for the luck to get lucky. You see what I'm saying? Luck and leadership together, they have a bigger effect than you otherwise might think, or maybe at least other than what I would think. And so, yeah, happy to see that. We're going to take that, and we are going to take, I think, centaurs first, and then gargoyles, then griffins. We are out of gold, unfortunately, and I don't think that there's much opportunity to pick up other resources. Let's go check our corners. Oh, that's new. I didn't see this stone lith here a second ago, but that's pretty nifty for us to see. Yeah, if you know Fix Fox, you know I've always got to check my corners, and so this looks like this is going to have to end in a dead end, because this is land, and so this has to be a dead end. Let's go check our corners. Let's be very thorough. Let's figure out where we go from here. Ambrose is coming up quick. I could stay here in the castle, but the issue with that is that then Ambrose is going to have such slow speed for turn 1. Let's pull over all these forces. Let's give him the 6-speed creatures. Tomorrow, Agar is going to give him the rest of these 4-speed creatures. We're just going to act as kind of like a caddy as we try and move the rest of these forces out. Can we get all the way back? We can get all the way back. That's even better. Let's do it just like this then. Okay. And remember, we're still looking for sulfur. We're looking for anything that'll help us get up to these green dragons. And I'm hoping that something like this campfire is going to be useful. It's not 6 of the crystal. That's okay, not great. Peasants, they're just experience unless your sprites want to go get hit. Very impetuous these girls are. Don't know who taught them that. Oh, and very interesting. So the peasants all kind of joined together so that way they can kind of support each other. I like that decision from them. It's not going to help them, but it is the smart thing to do. I've noticed recently that the FHeroes2 AI, it's done an even better job than ever as we pick up the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. An even better job than ever of waiting and keeping troops together. Even if that means you're not getting down the battlefield as fast, it means that you get the opportunity to avoid being picked off one by one. So, love to see that the FHeroes2 AI is good and getting better. I've said it many a time in my life, and I'll continue to say it until I'm blue in the face. Very excited, very happy to see that it is good and getting better all the time. I'm going to pick up these Minotaurs and these Griffins. We are going to leave the Hydras behind. I just don't see them being incredibly useful for us. And I will pick up these sprites as Agar goes south. I don't think that we're going to need Agar to go north. What could be north? He's got to grab that sulfur, actually. Agar's going to go grab sulfur. Ambrose is going to head south. There's stuff to the north, though. There is stuff to the north, but there's these stone liths. I know that there's an enemy to the south. It was Falagar. If there's things that Falagar is stealing from me, I want to go try and meet him head on before he gets the opportunity to take stuff from me. That's my stuff. That's not your stuff. That's my stuff. So, get the hints. You cur. You foul knave. As I pick up these treehouse. A group of sprites with a desire for greater glory wish to join you. Do you accept? I sure do. We're up to 132 sprites. That was about 40 sprites there. That's good for me. I have confirmed this has to be volcanic terrain. And so I know that there's volcanic terrain here that is the eyes. I'm guessing that there's another eye over here. If I recall, I think that there is another eye in the other direction. We're going to go grab some of this gold. And I'm wrestling with this decision about whether or not I should try and upgrade this town to a castle. It's going to be an extra 750 gold per day. And then I can get griffins and maybe minotaurs, you know, whatever extra stuff I can get. I'm still at least 12 turns away from getting green dragons. Maybe less. Maybe less. I think that we ought not to get a level 2 mage guild, just because that will delay our green tower. Archers. And if I see any opportunity to pick up sulfur along the coast, I will land for it. These witches' huts are so scary. We still have 4 slots. It could be good, and it could be bad. What if I rolled necromancy, for example? I think it's best to wait on the witches' huts until I can confirm that I have a couple of pretty good skills. What am I still looking for? Number 1, I'm looking for wisdom. Well, you could get wisdom here. Unlike in Heroes 3 with the Horn of the Abyss, you can't step on a witch's hut and then just say, nope, I don't want to learn that. You are forced to learn if you have a slot available. And so I have to be a little bit careful there because I am trying to build a pretty good hero. And I think that I'll be very sad if I don't. Aha! There he is. That's actually good. I'd prefer to know where he is rather than not. So we're going to have the opportunity. We're going to try and head him off. And we're going to have Ariel go and grab this archer's house. I'm not sure how many archers there are here. As I step off, 29. I don't think that Falagar is going to pick those up. And I think that with my 6 speed, I'm going to be fast enough to escape. Yeah, so Falagar is going down. Ambrose has 2,300 movement points a day. What do you have? I'm guessing like 1,700. Pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. Ooh, shipwreck survivor. Yeah. pretty sure that's not going to be a concern. And the only thing I do have to worry about is I do have to be concerned about the enemy having spells. It all depends. It all depends on whether or not the enemy started off with some advantage. If the enemy started with a level 5 mage guild and with green dragons, I don't know how you win this scenario at this point. If they started off with nothing, then, and we're on equal footing, then I think that, you know, our odds are just as good as ever. I don't know. It all depends on what they have. I should be checking enemy heroes more often. If I see them with, we've seen Hydras already. If we see more than that, if we see dragons, we're going to know exactly where we're at, and we're going to know exactly how concerned we need to be about the scenario moving forward. Even not seeing that, I'm already a little concerned, but just play it cool. Pretend like you've been here before. That's some of the best advice you can ever get. That was huge. 5 sulfur. We're up to 15 sulfur. It's still going to be next week before we can get the dragons, but now I am very glad that I did not waste all my ore trying to get something else. That's very good. Okay. Ariel is going to see if she can actually kind of go southish. Oh, Witch's Hut. Estates. I don't necessarily want that for my main hero, but I will be happy to take that for her. Let's see if we can track this guy down. Ooh, trading post. Oh, there's a trading post here. It's day 7. If we can get up to 20, can we get 5 sulfur? And we would need some gold. How much gold? About 4,000 gold. I mean, if I did this, I would definitely not be going into mage guilds at all, but I've got 25 crystal. I think that they trade at 10 precious resources for 1. So I've got 2, 3, 4, call it 5. I don't think I've got the gold. But I do have other heroes that can maybe find gold for me. What a novel idea. There's 1,000. And this neat little pendant of life. Good, good. Thunder Mace of Dominion. Okay, we'll take it. Oh, I really needed that sea chest to hit. This sea chest has to hit. I think we're doing it. I think we're going to get dragons today. What an excellent moment that was. Just wandering right into this trading post. I know that Falagar is probably over here and Ariel might be going down. I don't care. It's day 7. We're picking up dragons. We're doing it. So, first things first. Oh, it's even better than I thought it was. It's 5 precious resources for 1. I thought it was 10. Because, of course, the trading post always trades at a ratio as if you had 3 marketplaces in 3 different castles. And for some reason, I thought that that ratio was 10 to 1 instead of 5 to 1. We're doing great. We're going to do it just like this. We're down to 10 crystal. We're down to 7 mercury. And we're down to 6 gems. So 7, 10, and 6. I don't think that the split really matters. We do need to make sure that we keep at least 30 ore. Let's trade none of the ore. Should we just trade the precious resources to get up to the gold necessary? If we're not going to go for mage guilds, then we actually do want to keep the wood and the ore to upgrade our other town into a castle. Yeah, so let's do that actually. Let's trade everything. Just trade it straight up. Straight up. Just like that. Boom. That feels pretty good. And again, I don't know how early this is. Month 1, week 3, day 7. It felt like it took an awful lot to get there. That felt like it took a lot. But we're there. And we'll see. We'll see if that works out or not. Yeah, I'm guessing Falagar went over here because there's a treasure chest right there. So we'll come back with another hero to grab that treasure. There he is. Ooh, he picked up a temple for a +2 on the morale. There's a mercenary camp for a +1 attack. He might be fairly tough. We will have to wait and see. Agar did a huge deal. Pick up that 5 sulfur was actually big. Oh, and we can get around. Agar can get around. I thought that these rogues were guarding this pass. It looks like no. Looks like he's good to go around. Wish I'd grabbed that when I had the chance. Okay. Big day. That was a big day. No. Oh. Well, how often do you see that? It's a new week. Astrologers proclaim this to be the week of the Aardvark. If you don't know what an Aardvark is, I feel like I should show you a picture. I don't know. I'm sure you've seen an Aardvark before. If you haven't seen an Aardvark, they're kind of cute. They're also kind of weird. I feel like I need a full National Geographic documentary just on Aardvarks. Nature's gentle something or others. Whatever they are, I'm sure that they are the best at what they do. It's kind of nice to see what the coastline is before we travel in this area. We are going to be able to grab Falagar here. I'm just going to grab this temple real quick for the +2 morale before we get him. The estates I don't want. We'll come back from the mercenary camp. I just can't let him run. Very interesting that he decided not to attack Ariel. I don't know why he did that, but before I actually come in here, I want to see if I can get to this observation tower. I can. And the reason why I'm doing it in this order is because if I can get the observation tower now, I can make sure that there's no enemies that are like really close that actually want to do me harm. It looks like no, there's no reason Ambrose should not attack other than he's not that strong of a hero. He's still only level 2, 3 attack, 2 defense, 1 spell power, 1 knowledge, but I still think I'm tough enough to take you on, buddy. Lots of centaurs, several of the griffins, several of the gargoyles. We're going to split up the gargoyles. Keep the griffins in the power stack, so if you want to kill them, you have to take some major hits to bring them down. And it looks like the enemy is going to flee. Let's prevent that if at all possible. And as you can tell, FixFox, per his usual, has forgotten to take this off of grouped formation. Whoops. That's okay. That's a pretty common occurrence around here. Pretty common. I'm just going to move the Minotaur Kings up here. I don't think I really want to haste anybody. I don't think. My gargoyles are going to get to go before their centaurs. I may want my griffins to go... before their griffins. I may want to just kind of pop their sprites or their minotaurs. But for now, let's move the Minotaur Kings just to right here. See what they do here. Curse on the griffins. I can handle that. Not too bad. Ooh, good morale. Good for you. Good for you. And then I am going to stick one of these stacks of gargoyles onto the centaurs. There's plenty of them, so we do want to bring down their numbers a little bit if we can. 26 centaurs are coming our way. Is it worth it to try and kill sprites? Let's try and kill one whole stack of sprites. Here. Their centaurs are going to go. Good morale. We'll take it. That's one whole less stack that we need to no longer deal with. And now I am going to haste the griffins. No, I'm not going to haste the griffins. What good would it do? That would give them the opportunity. They're still going to get to attack here first. Doesn't matter to me. I can kill 1 to 2. I'll take a couple of losses here. I think I'm just going to skip on the centaurs. I don't need the damage that bad. I really don't. And then my cursed griffins. I mean, now that we're up to this point, I could just do damage with them with the bloodlust. Let's see. We can kill just 1 minotaur. Let's do that. Let's kill a minotaur. All of my machinations in my mind at this point are all to keep Falagar the Warlock from running. By the way, holy crap, 3 attack, 4 defense, 7 spell power, and 9 knowledge? And the best spell you had was a curse? I'm terrified, actually. This seems a little bit scary. I don't know what to do here. I'm a little bit worried. We're going to kill a couple griffins here. We are cursed. I'm still going to stick on these centaurs. We're killing them so slowly. Let's go back to the centaurs and try to get them unstuck. I'm sure that they would prefer to not fight with their daggers. I'm sure they would prefer to actually attack with their mighty, scary bows. 1 more of the minotaurs and the enemy has fled. It is going to be less centaurs than it otherwise would have been. We saved about 10 centaurs. I think I like that. I think. One way or the other. It works out fine. Oh! The choice is obvious here, but this hurts. I love logistics. I really do. But you have to have the ability to have a 5th level spell. Even if we never have a 4th or a 5th level spell, even if we never have a 3rd level spell, Wisdom is the absolute clear-cut choice favorite. There's no doubt about it. You have to take the Wisdom. You have to. And I make no apologies for that. Okay. Well, we got a couple of things here. Treasure here, and it looks like there's plenty of stuff we can do up here as well. Yeah, look at all these +1s. There's a +1 here, +1 here. I kind of want to go grab this +1 real quick. Just because it's right there. Tell you what, we're going to go grab this +1, and then we're going to work our way. We're going to kind of, like an ice cream scoop, we're going to scoop to the south and grab what we can before the enemies get there, because I feel like the south is going to be more highly contested. And then we're going to work our way northwest, kind of back to this lith area. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do the ice cream scoop maneuver. And from here on out, if anybody ever asks you what the ice cream scoop maneuver is, it's your job to tell them that you heard it from FixFox. Yikes. Oh no. Oh no. So we've seen plenty of green. We just defeated Falagar. We've seen plenty of green. What we've not had to deal with is Crodo as the red enemy. A few black dragons. We could not have gotten dragons at a better time. Problem is that we're going to need lots of resources in order to get black dragons. Jeez, that's scary. I'm scared. Oh, you want to go all the way around to get that? No, we're just gonna head north. Finding pieces of candy everywhere we go. Bad Metal of Courage is really nice. Chest of gold, wood, shipwreck survivor. Wait a second. That's some good morale we got going on there. And Ambrose at this point does have the advanced leadership. I don't know how likely it is that we're gonna like mix troops, but hey, we've got blood morale right now. We are not gonna rush over to that area. We're not going to try and go pick up that artifact just yet, but we'll grab it when we can. We'll see. Maybe it'll be useful if we do mixed troops. The soldiers living in the fort teach us a few new defensive tricks, +1 to our defense. And now I just realize I'm a little bit scared, because if this enemy is to the rear of us, what can they grab before we get there? If they rush to our castle, I think that we're still going to have time to go back. Let's continue south. Let's have aerial. Pick up logistics. We need that. Okay, we want the logistics. So we're going to go in this area. This feels like a contested area. And I know that green has sight of this land. I don't love this, but if worst comes to worst, this is not the bulk of my forces. This is not the best force I've ever had. We got plenty of gold. We could technically surrender and get out of there. Let's kill this horde of peasants. We're going to engage with them. And then let's pick up this oracle. Nestled among the trees sits a blind seer. After you explain the intent of your journey, the seer activates his crystal ball, allowing you to see the strengths and weaknesses of your opponents. Oh no. Oh no. That's bad. So, total army strength and income? After we picked up that gold mine, we're still last in income. Definitely we're last in army strength. Artifacts, we're kind of middle of the pack. Obelisks, we're number 1 in that. And we do have 1 town, so nobody has any more towns than us, but the enemy has at least 2 castles, and they're tied for castles. So the enemies might have 2, they might have 3, they might have 4 castles, I don't know. But if I pick up 1 more castle somewhere, I should be able to know how many castles they have. So that's actually a really good, a really good oracle to pick up. We're going to grab the +1 attack skill here for Vesper. And this watchtower is going to help us deal with these centaurs. Again, it'd be really nice if we had any amount of leadership here. Doing a situation where we miss out on a turn or 2, that feels bad. Ore is kind of a problem. We only have 1 ore mine. We do have 1 of each precious resource generating mine, but I don't feel comfortable just rushing to upgrade Hilltop, knowing that we might want to get into red dragons at least, because here he comes. Here comes Crodo. Okay, it's going to be 16 of the orcs that we pick up, and I am going to split these sprites into 3 stacks. They're going to deal with these centaurs very, very well, I believe. And 4-speed creatures against 4-speed creatures, it does matter as far as who goes where. A glorious victory, 320 experience. I think that these losses are very acceptable there. So it's going to be a treasure chest here, 1,000 gold. A little bit more gold. Wagon camp. Interesting. Oh, and I just realized we kind of wandered into each other here with Agar. Agar and Vesper are back. Just being friends. Sharing the news. Much like, I'm sure, Gandalf and Radagast the Brown did. We want to pick up this logistics from the Witch's Hut. It's a non-negotiable. I think I want this observation tower now, though. It's going to cost us 1 gargoyle. I'm not going to fight that fight. I'm just going to grab this observation tower. This is going to let us know if there's danger before we get there. Gold mine, gotta have that. But are there any other enemies nearby? +1 on the morale. Morale's not that useful. Not anymore, anyway. I think that... Oh, geez. Ambrose is going to hit the Witch's Hut on his way back north. We're going to have to go back to Night Shadow at some point. We're going to have to hope that the enemy does not make a beeline for Night Shadow. As much as I would love to grab all these freebies, this all feels like something that Ariel ought to do instead of my main hero. My main hero's movement points are too precious to waste time. So I'm going to send Ariel to grab this treasure chest, and then she's going to circle back around. And Ambrose, I mean, it's right there. It's 2,000 gold. I probably should start getting experience instead of gold. Yeah, it's time for Ambrose to start picking up experience over gold. But we're going to sweep through this way. And then as we head north, we're going to hit that Witch's Hut on our way back home. Hopefully by then we're able to pick up dragons. That's the plan anyway. And the clock is ticking because Crodo is looking ugly, angry, scary. Scary. Everybody else, by the way, still does pick up gold. Okay. Well, I wish I didn't wander these two heroes right into each other. I don't know if it's best to go... Maybe there's a path right here. Let's have... I don't know. Should Vesper actually split his forces? This might be enough to actually have two heroes cleaning some stuff out. I think so. I'm going to have... Okay, so I'm going to have Vesper split these sprites again. I know I just combined them, but we're going to fight this fight. Win. I'm going to have Agar actually steal half of these troops. And I'm going to split it like this. So it's going to be half a stack of sprites, and then orcs here, halflings here. So that way the morale is actually neutral for both these creatures. That just feels like the best thing for me. And I'm going to split into 3 stacks like so. And then hopefully Agar and Vesper can both continue to do good things. I'm not going to try and fight this wagon camp. If I see another treehouse, though, I'm definitely going to go for that. Horde of halflings, I think I can beat them. With spells? They're not great, but they are spells. So I'm trying to stay kind of close to the coast here. I feel like this has been useful to kind of see where the edge of this terrain is. That helps me make some better decisions. These centaurs want to run. I'm not going to let them. 220 experience. Diplomacy or navigation? +1 knowledge. The knowledge is a nice pickup. I don't think that the water is going to matter. I'm going to have other heroes go on the water. Let's take the diplomacy. That'll help us surrender just in case we get into a sticky situation. That reduces the surrender cost to 40%. Happy for that. Happy for that. Magic Garden. We catch a leprechaun foolishly sleeping amidst a cluster of magic mushrooms. Magic mushrooms. Is that what they're calling it these days? In exchange for his freedom, he guides you to a small pot filled with precious things, +5 gems. By the way, I had a very interesting conversation the other day with somebody about ketamine. So, apparently, you can use the drug known as ketamine to basically turn off somebody's brain and restart it. Generally, when we talk about, in America, we often talk about medical marijuana. That's the drug that everybody wants to have medical and medicinal purposes for, and I don't really have a dog in the fight. I really don't care if you want to use it or not. It doesn't matter to me. However, it's worth noting that it does strike me as funny when we're considering whether or not it's a good idea to take medicinal marijuana for, I don't know, something like back pain. Like, does it really help with the back pain? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Is it worth it or not? I don't know. But along this line of medicinal drugs that legalize for a certain purpose, I think it's called cyclobins. It's like it's the DMT. It's hallucinogenics. It's mushrooms, and it is things like ketamine that are being used to treat things like depression, for example. Very interesting to hear how the fight is going and trying to find a path forward to experiment on a large scale with these things. In America, the war on drugs started when I was a kid, and I want to congratulate drugs for winning the war on drugs. I don't do drugs, but drugs absolutely won the war on drugs. By the way, I am wrestling over this decision. If this is 50 vampires, I am toasted. If it's 30 vampires, I'm toasted. I can't fight that fight. In good faith, I cannot fight that fight. I'm just going to go south a little bit more, see if I can find a little bit more mountainous terrain, and then I'm going to go back north. I can't fight that fight. But the idea of using a drug to completely cure someone's mental health condition is, if that doesn't intrigue you at all, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that in and of itself feels like that there should be tons of research going into how does it work, is it effective, so on and so forth. Because if we're not doing our due diligence and finding that, then we're not experimenting enough to find out if we already know the cure for cancer and we just haven't used it yet. That's the way I look at it. I come from my background in looking at drugs and their use and stuff. Basically, I'm of the opinion that every disease on the planet Earth that we focus on and we have, it can be cured by something found in nature. That's my true and honest feeling. If you get down to it, there's plants, there's something out there that if we are to come into contact with it, if we as humans can harness it, it is going to cure some disease. We just have to do a better job of finding it and utilizing it. And so why not mushrooms? I'm not saying that that is going to be the thing, but maybe it is. Until we know for sure, we don't know anything. Folks, this was a big waste of time. I feel bad. Glorious victory. We're going to win this fight, but this was not... I talked myself into going this far south just to get the gold mine, and now that we've gone this far, I feel sheepish. This was a big mistake. This was a big mistake. We are way too far south. We are very far out of position, and enemies are knocking at the door. I am sheepishly telling you that I've made a critical error. I do not like this. I do not like this. We're going to use one of our curses. It's going to last for 2 more turns, so I don't feel bad about it. And I am going to attack with the griffins now. Against these 8 dwarves, 5 battle dwarves goes down. These battle dwarves are messing around. They're going all the long way around. I don't hate that. That's fine for me, but bad for them. Happy to get some damage off here. I hope that the griffins take all of this damage. They do. Great for the retaliations. And then I think I can just stay back and actually play with terrain here a little bit. These poor dwarves are going to be absolutely confused. Back and forth and back and forth. I don't blame them. I know what I'm doing. I'm absolutely exploiting the game. Do I feel bad? No. Hey man, you gotta win however you can win. Oh, there's a bottle. I really gotta get that bottle, but I'll get that later. I came here for these vampires. I came here for this 1,000 gold a day. I can't justify it. My eyes were too big for my stomach, and if I lose that fight, I can't. I can't stomach losing that fight. It's just too much to deal with. And so, we're going to continue on. I am going to pick up this artifact just because I don't want an enemy to have it. And while I was talking, by the way, we did pick up the nest. We've picked up the ability to fill out this other town, I will try and get up to probably Minotaurs here in Hilltop. And so that way they can just start accruing. I don't need a lot here, but I need something. And I'm feeling the pressure also from Green now, by the way. Green did go through the Minotaur Kings. They haven't really breached this territory. Oh, geez, it's Falagar, but they're coming. And I think he had 3 attack, 4 defense, 7 spell power, and 9 knowledge. I think that's what he had. And I am once again sheepish that Ambrose is so many days out of the way. It's gonna be 3 days just to get back up to this logistics hut. And that means that we didn't go this way up to the mercenary camp. Standing stones. Not wise. Not wise at all. Very sad. Ooh, Seeing Eye Pendant. Now that is a good artifact. Maybe one of my all-time favorite artifacts. Maybe. If I run into some black dragons, they're going to get the first shot on me and they will kill me. So we have to be very careful with Sarakin. Especially now that we know that he has a really good artifact. We'll see how good or a bad job we can do of keeping him safe and alive. Maze for the Minotaurs, no problem. Maybe we do pick up the level 2 Mage Guild in a moment, because it feels like dragons are going to be just a little too far away. And there we go. We do have green into our crystal. We don't have 1 crystal per day anymore. That is now officially gone. And that feels bad. Lots of archers. Do we fight? I don't think we do. Lots of archers. We win this fight. The sprites win this for us. Glorious victory. No problems. Mercury. Treasure everywhere. Glorious victory here as well. And we're going to take the logistics for Agar, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get him down to that other witch's hut. And this bottle says... says dragons everywhere. Thanks. Ooh! Cracked Earth. In the section here that Sarakin is sailing by. That's kind of interesting. I can honestly say I didn't expect that. I should have picked up that campfire in case it came with sulfur. What I am going to do, though, before I forget... Well, should I? So I can pick up another marketplace here, so I can trade pretty well. I think it's worth it to me with 36,000 gold to send a hero back to that trading post. I think I will do that. As I grab the waterfall here. I'm going to grab another hero. I don't know who it is. I guess it's going to be Sabu. And he might as well take these halflings just so they have something to do. I'm sure that they're bored. And Sabu's going to be ready to trade resources at the drop of a hat. I would love to have at least black dragons. Oh no, we're not getting sulfur anymore. Oaks, we're not getting sulfur anymore. Falagar. Falagar is telling me that I'm a silly person for letting him live. We are going to pick up the logistics. So we're going to be having 2,400 movement points a day with Ambrose. Four speed creatures in the army. We could go faster if we just dropped down to only 6 speed creatures, but we would lose centaurs and griffins. That'd be a little too much. But I wonder if speed is really the thing here. 81 sprites. Ariel is getting pretty far into some really contested lands, I fear. Crodo, Falagar. I guess I should be grateful that Falagar is going north instead of south, but I did just upgrade this castle. Tell you what, I'm going to purchase another hero. It's going to be Ruby. And her job is just to evacuate these troops. I think that they're valuable enough. It's worth it to me to go the long way and just try and stay alive. Unfortunately, she's not going to get too big of a start because she had the 2-speed peasants and the 2-speed archers. But I think that this is now the time that she can escape. And if Falagar goes north, he's not going to be able to catch her. And if he does try and catch her, she'll at least be able to waste some time, making those troops sacrifice still worthwhile. Okay, let's sail around Port of Sprites. Let's make sure that we don't go too close to the coast. If you are in a boat, as you mentioned, or as we saw earlier, you can trade from land to boat if you're right up next to the coast, and enemies can attack from the land to the water, once again, if you're too close. So let's just not be too close. And let's ignore the curse. 6 sulfur. Plus this patch. We just had our fortunes change drastically. Red tower. 3 sulfur to go. And I do think that we still have, let's see, Vesper. And in just a moment, it'll be, I think, Sabu we said? Yeah, Sabu should be getting to this trading post pretty quickly as well. So, Ambrose is coming home, baby. 2 more days. So next turn, he's going to be home. And then we can try and deal with Falagar shortly thereafter. Okay, not great, but this could be worse. And Falagar does go straight for the castle. I don't hate that decision. Let's take a look. 2 black dragons. I can handle 2 black dragons. I can handle 2 black dragons. I do hope I get a chance to go here. I won't. Oh, I do. Because the gargoyles stepped in the wrong spot? Okay. 4 attack, 4 defense, 7 spell power, 10 knowledge. Yeah. 57 spell points. There is a mage guild here in this castle, so he's going to have full spell points. I'm a little bit scared about that. It is what it is. It is what it is. 1 gargoyle does go down. And I don't love that red can see me. So long as green and red don't actually spot my primary castle, though, I think I'll be okay. Oh, I hope I'll be okay. I hope. Okay, Ambrose made it all the way back. Let's leave only the 6-speed creatures. Hydras are probably not going to be the play. And we're going to have plenty of gold. We are going to need to start trading for sulfur in just a moment. Ooh, oh, Dragon City. Now, Dragon City in Heroes 2 is not like a Dragon Utopia in Heroes 3. Defeating it does not give you a clutch of resources and artifacts and such. What it really does is it gives you the opportunity to purchase some additional troops. It gives you the opportunity to purchase red dragons. So that could be a very tactical decision if we were to focus in on this Dragon City. It's a renewable weekly kind of a resource, and so if we can get there, we might be feeling pretty good. Looks like we got Alamar not too far away from Ariel. There is this stone lith that's completely open for business. Falagar still being scary. We're gonna peace out. Say thank you, but no thank you. And let him have what he wants. Whatever he wants, just take it, and I don't even care. Okay. 5 more sulfur. 2 patches of sulfur that were for 5 each. Big, big, big moves. And so then, I don't know, maybe we even look at getting into the Black Tower. And so that way we don't have to upgrade dragons later. I think so. I think we're going to go straight for black dragons. And we're going to have to crush Falagar, and then we'll come back and deal with other stuff next. Oh, dear. Okay, so we got red dragons from the red player, which is interesting. So here's my thought. As we take a quick look at Kastore the Warlock with 6 attack, 9 defense, 16 spell power, 7 knowledge. Where are you getting all this? My word. If you've got red dragons, I think it's highly unlikely that the AI decided to purchase red dragons instead of black dragons. You can do that with the FHeroes2 rebuild. You can do that. A player can do that. I don't think that the AI will ever do that, though. That makes me think that there are 2 castles that red owns, one with red dragons and one with black dragons. And that's actually good information, because then I know that they are still dealing with some shortage of sulfur or some shortage of something. I don't know what, but a shortage of something. That's just good information for me to know. So I'm okay with that. I am going to do this. Oh, this is going to be great. Watch this. Okay, so we're going to haste the sprites so that they're going to get to go. But the gargoyle is going to attack right here. Oof. And all your trolls are going to die. Now, here's the question. Does Ariel want to run? Oh, basic estates, basic logistics. She's a good hero. She is a good hero. I could maybe kill 1 Minotaur King. It's not worth it. And I don't think that saving 81 sprites is really worth it. Is it? Is it worth it? What's the cost? 2,000 gold? I don't think so. I think we're just going to run. I really had to think about, though. That's about 4,000 gold worth of sprites that we purchased from a Tree City. So obviously a waste, but I think I'd rather keep the artifact away from the enemy. And I think I'd rather be able to rehire the hero later. We got a couple of days to do that, so I'm not going to worry at the moment for that. I'm going to get Agar to transfer some troops over. Might as well give everybody over, just so that way I can fight this fight. Glorious victory. Can we not lose 40 sprites? That's the question. 32 orcs and 46 of the halflings. Oh no. We may not have a choice. If your troops don't fight very well, then there's a high likelihood that you're just going to lose. So, 3 attack, 2 attack, 2 defense. Let's do some bonus damage with our halflings. Let's see if they can just put a hurt on these guys. They can, and good decision as it turns out. Once you see the orcs lose their turn, very happy that the halflings were the one to load up a stone and fling it away. We kill here, and 3 to 5. Let's just kill 1 full stack of zombies. Not quite. Hopefully that means that these sprites are going to get an unencumbered shot against these 10, and these losses feel great. Good. 6 sprites down. 1,000 gold. And I'm going to send, I think that we've done an okay job of splitting our troops. We're going to give all this over to Vesper, but I am going to take these 2 artifacts south. Maybe I can even help Ruby get these troops out. Maybe the best way to go is going to be this way. Okay. Oh, and it looks like we're in kind of like a bay. So Sarakin has found what he can. This is good information, though. This means to me that this gold mine not being taken, that there's no enemies in this general area. I may look at landing. I'm going to still play this a little bit careful. I don't want Sarakin to die, but we're going to take a closer look at this. Okay. And then Ruby. Evacuating. Sabu. Trading lots. Okay. That's our black tower. I don't think I need wood for anything right now. I will keep a little bit just in case I want to go for a mage guild. No. Probably not, but let's just trade everything else over. Most of the crystal, most of the mercury, most. 18. How much more do we need? We have 8 sulfur, and there are 7 dragons at 2 sulfur apiece. We need at least 6 more. Let's see if we can get 6 more sulfur so we can set off happy and feeling revitalized. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. 4. 2,500 gold. That's going to save 1 dragon in reserve, but this will help me feel comfortable setting off with 6 black dragons anyway. And then 800 gold left. That's not a lot. Hydras are going to stay in reserve. And this is my force. Okay. Alrighty. So Ambrose, with his 2,600 movement points, is going to head north, and Falagar is going to find out real quick that he's made a mistake. Okay. Alrighty. Whew. Mustering these forces actually feels like a pretty big deal. I know that we're not going to have as many movement points tomorrow, but we may be able to still reach all the way up here. Along the road, maybe we will. We'll see. We are out of movement points. All of our heroes have gone. They've done cool stuff. And let's see where this road takes us. Okay. We can reach Hilltop. It's day 4. We got plenty of time. I think that we track down Falagar and then we come back to Hilltop in just a moment. I don't think we let him escape. And I don't want to get the sulfur. I do want to get the sulfur. It's so close. And sulfur is that important. I just worry that this is going to cost me 1 additional day trying to track Falagar down. Right now we moved so far because we were on the road. We're going to have to see how far he gets before I really know if I should go take that castle before I pursue him or if I should not. And again, I just don't know the answer. We'll wait. We'll find out. Okay. There's some options over here. There's a big cache of stuff here. I wonder if there's like a big patch of free stuff. Let's go see if we can find the corner of the map. Oftentimes you'll hear me say, check your corners. I think this is one of those times where that feels like a good decision. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I might have wandered a little too close to an enemy. I don't remember where red went. I'm guessing red is right in here somewhere. I'm guessing that they are. That might have been a mistake. But if it is a mistake, that means that they're going to get distracted and they're not going to come straight for my castle. So that's going to be worthwhile anyway. Time to pick up another hero. It's going to be our friend with the logistics and with the estates. If you stay alive for 25 turns, you've paid for yourself. So we're going to do that. And we're going to give her one single gargoyle to prance around with. Alrighty. Ariel, where shall you go? You would have thought that I had a place in mind for her to go. Not necessarily. Not always. I just knew that I wanted her before the new week. And being able to, by the way, to fight these early fights the way that we're going to get to feels really nice. How do I mean? We've got an opportunity to pick up some early black dragons and pick them off on the map before they get to us and cause us harm. That's excellent. It also, every troop that we defeat, that is some amount of experience that we're going to pick up for our primary hero, and that's going to go really, really far for us. This is looking too good. There's treasure here. There's an unclaimed gem mine. I think it's time for Sarakin to land. Sarakin, please be careful. And so I will. I'm going to hope that we can win fights, pick up the experience, and even if this is a big fight and there's some losses, I think that again, Ambrose is going to get more powerful over time. So let's fight this fight as best as we can. Let's make sure that we have our fight set before we start in, though. Hydras, griffins, gargoyles, black dragons. I want my black dragons to get to go first, and I think I want my black dragons to key in on their black dragon. So I'm going to fight black dragon first. I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to try and kill their two. And after that, then I'm going to send in minotaurs, and then gargoyles can clean up. So 6 speed, 6 speed, 6 speed. I want the gargoyles to go after. Last of the 6 speeds is where I want the gargoyles to go. And then the griffins can figure out what to do after that. Halflings aren't going to matter. None of these other creatures are going to matter. We have to fight this fight. We came here to fight this fight. And that's what we're going to do. The enemy wants to spend only 1,200 gold to run away. I don't like that at all. We're not going to allow that to happen if we can possibly help it. Falagar is too valuable. Looks like they did us the favor of purchasing this left turret for us, and I don't. No. Tell you what, that's not what I meant to do. It's not. But I do believe in fighting a fight as best as you can from wherever things may roam. Wherever I'm at, that's, hey, you just got to get a new mouse. How about that? So we're going to fight this fight, and we're going to accept my error. Clearly that's a big error, but that's my error, and we will find a way through all the same. By the way, Falagar, 4 attack, 4 defense, 7 spell power, 10 knowledge, 91 spell points, 4 attack, 3 defense, 2 spell power, 2 knowledge. We do have the blood morale, though. We do have the blood morale. That goes pretty well for us. I feel like paralyzed centaurs, I don't know. I feel like I can now just haste my centaurs. That might be the best thing, so that way they actually get to do some damage. It depends on what their black dragons do. If I was their black dragons, I would probably focus on my stack of black dragons. I don't know. That just seems like what I would do. They waited on their black dragons? You're kidding me. So nobody does anything. Nobody's doing anything. Okay, just want to make sure on that. Okay. All right. If I attack these black dragons with these 21 gargoyles, I'm sure that they're going to hurt themselves, but I don't think it really matters. I don't think it really matters. So I'm just going to try and kill some griffins. 1 to 2. Why not? And this actually is kind of interesting. If we destroy this section of wall, we got this nice double hex attack with our black dragons. Huh, interesting. No, we didn't get that. If I wait again, what's gonna happen? Seriously, I have no idea I don't know what's happening here. I am lost. I'm so lost. Skip? Okay, there's a lightning bolt. How much was that lightning bolt? 175 points of damage. That's a lot of lightning bolt. That's a lot of lightning bolt. I don't have a way to get this paralyzed off. I'm just gonna back off? And the dragon skipped again? I'm so confused. I hate this. I hate this. Okay, I'm gonna go kill your Hydras. Because I don't want to keep taking free damage from your turrets. I'm gonna go kill your Hydras. BRB. Paralyze on the centaurs. Not a bad decision. Your Minotaur Kings are gonna step up in a second. They're gonna get a nice hit off. Let them... Oh, you know, not if your dragons do that. But now I got this really sweet double attack on you. I'm gonna kill... probably not gonna kill one of your dragons. I might as well try, though. Maybe I get the good morale here? I do not. Okay. What a weird fight. As you can tell, this did not go the way I expected it to. I'm gonna curse their big stack of Minotaur Kings. I don't know what's happening anymore. I truly don't. 40 damage there. A little bit of damage there. 42 HP. I don't even know what's happening anymore. And let's actually attack like this, so that way maybe the troops combine in a weird way. No, I guess not. I have no idea what's happening. What if I back off? I've already lost one extra dragon, but I just really don't want Falagar to run. What is going on? I've never seen the AI do this. I am baffled. I'm absolutely baffled. Now he runs. He has to. I'm baffled by that fight. I think that the AI did something I've never seen before. The AI literally said, look, I'm going to stay alive as long as I can, and I'm going to do as much damage to you as I can. That is new. That has to be new with 1.1.5. That has to be. That's crazy. I've never seen that before, and I love that. Huh. Huh. What a weird fight. I hate that I lost 2 dragons. I hate that he ran away. I don't think he was going to let me do any better, though. I think that the only thing I could have done to have won that fight outright would have been if my dragon stack had gotten good morale again. I know I got it once. I think. Maybe his did. But interesting. Super interesting. Okay. Well, that was wild, though. That was wild. Scouting? No. Ballistics? Yes. Wisdom? I don't think so. Logistics? Logistics is forever. Oh, they picked up the dungeon and the statue for me. That was really nice of them. And so... Ugh, what a weird fight. Okay. If you can't tell, I didn't exactly love that. All of that felt a little bit weird. This does maybe open us up to taking Quicksilver. It depends on what this guy does. If Crodo dives onto us in the wrong way, then we're feeling really bad. I don't know what to expect anymore. Okay, well, we're going to have Ruby hand over these troops to Agar. Is it Agar or Agar? I don't think it really matters, but it is a distinction. It's worthwhile anyway. And Vesper is continuing to kind of soak up all this. Hopefully nobody comes through these lifts. We've already been bitten by that at least once or twice. And I will pick up one more hero. Let's have it be Crag Hack. Let's get a nice barbarian up in here. And his whole job is just going to be to grab this one thing here and help explore in this area to the south. Okay. And I mentioned earlier that left turret, right turret could be very useful. Let's make sure we have that just in case. If the enemy does dive onto us, we're gonna wish we had that. Enemies from the south. Kastore. It's from the south. Maybe he'll take these vampires out for us. And then enemies to the west. I could pick up this +1. Knowledge. We only have 2. Let's go grab this. Oh, followers, group of rogues. Sure, why not? And then Sarakin's gonna do some nice stuff for us. Very interesting. Oh, there's boats, there's treasure. This is great. It's awesome. I don't know if I really needed a lot of extra gold here right now, but I'll take it. So the enemy has not been here to this kind of southern tip. And by the way, you can see that the dragon face is starting to appear. I believe that this cracked earth and this weird, interesting sort of terrain, Magellans maps, this is all part of like the flame breath attack that's coming. So interesting stuff. Okay, I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna grab all this, and then I'm gonna hop into this boat and grab this Magellans maps. It seems like the best thing I can do for me at this point. So we're gonna do that. Did Agar never get pathfinding? He did. The swamp is just really slowing us down. Did Vesper ever get pathfinding? He did not. What are you doing? Get back onto the dry land. And Crodo is gonna chase Sabu. I think that we allow him to chase us as far as he wants to. And if he actually wants to switch targets and start chasing Ariel, I think I'm gonna let him, because 6 speed, I think that she might be faster than him. With the 2 speed Hydras, I think that she's definitely gonna be faster. And so we'll just let him play some Ring Around the Rosie. Another hero is going to kind of head in this direction. It's going to be Ruby. And again, Crag Hack is going to explore this brave new world in this general area. Month 2, week 1, day 6. Again, I don't know if we're fast enough as far as getting dragons, because it looks like we're going to be up against at least 2 or 3 castles with dragons, but we're grabbing what we can. Gonna make it work. Like to see, as we pick up the +1 knowledge, very happy to see that Ariel is taking a little bit of heat off of our main castle here. Crodo is coming for her, and so we're just going to grab this observation tower, and we are going to play Ring Around the Rosie. Because I'm sure he has this observation tower. We're always going to be faster. Let's just make him suffer, hoping he can chase us, and never ever being able to. Kastore, though, what to do there? Let's grab the estates, and then we're going to have Sabu head out the safe way so that we don't get attacked. Do I have one of each precious resource generating mine? I do. And so I'm actually thinking about picking up this Mage Guild level 2 in a day. Even if I don't have a lot of great level 2 spells, any amount of help might equalize these fights amongst these wizards. In this previous fight, I think that we saw that a Paralyze was pretty devastating. If Ambrose doesn't have a cure or a dispel, then that is going to be a big pickup. And we're going to be happy for it. Okay, so Kastore does pick up the observation tower. He's heading straight for Sabu. Wolf growth is up by 5 here on month 2. And we also did see, so Kastore is going for Sabu, and then we did see Crodo. Will he chase Ariel? I don't know if I can get him to just chase her. We're gonna have to wait and find out. Let's just stay close enough that he might go this direction. Okay, and Falagar is back. Several black dragons. There must be multiple dragon towers there. So he's gonna head back. We're gonna stay. Ruby is trying to stay alive. Just keep your heroes alive. And I once again am worried about Hilltop going down, but I think I can defend that area first and foremost. Pressure from the south, pressure from the east. And what will Ambrose do? Today he's just going to go back home, but there's a lot of things he can do. What makes the most sense? You decide. What really makes a lot of sense is dwarves being out of the picture. We're going to have 6 speed creatures tomorrow. There are still 4 black dragons here. We're up to 4 attack, 4 defense. It's not enough. It's not enough. What level 2 spells are we going to pick up here? It's going to be Lightning Bolt, View Artifacts, Disrupting Ray. None of those are useful. Disrupting Ray on a big stack of Hydras, that could be useful. but I was really hoping for a blind, and I was really hoping for some kind of dispel or cure or something. I guess even a AoE spell like a cold ring for level 3 would be nice. I know that at this point, you know, dispel and cure level 1 spells, and you know, in the level 3 we're probably, I don't want to say guaranteed, but we're very highly likely to get a mass dispel or a mass cure. No, mass cure is level 4. We might want to push for another level in just a moment. Anyway, the point is that Ambrose is home, and I'm wishing I had a disabling spell nullifier. Before I do anything else, let's have Ariel actually trade whatever she can. Nothing. There's nothing to trade here. Okay, there's nothing to trade. If there's nothing to trade, then there's nothing to trade. Sarakin's gonna grab gold here. He's not going to go through these elves. We are going to see what's available to us on the high seas. Maybe something nifty. I don't know. Oh, I guess I do have a pack of a pack of precious resources. That was another 5 sulfur. That was 3 times we've gotten a patch of sulfur that had 5 sulfur in it. That is great. That is really good. And then tomorrow we should have enough to get 1 additional dragon when we set off with 2,700 movement points. Maybe we even respond to Crodo. Depends on how far he goes, but we may be able to put a stop to his shenanigans. And once again, that'll be an opportunity for us to get a lot of experience. If nothing else, that'll be a lot of experience. Okay, Kastore's coming. Kastore's fast. Kastore's really fast. 4 of the dragons, 100 and something of the goblins, 10 of the Hydras. The Hydras are actually kind of a big deal too. I do not want these red dragons to meet up with the black dragons. 6 attack, 10 defense. I am severely underleveled. Estates is not worth saving. We're just going to run. Cowardly Sabu. Cowardly Sabu. Okay. But I think that we just saw. Yeah, I think that we just saw that he wandered a little too close. Oh, nope, never mind. He's close, but he's not close enough. If Kastore and him combine, oh, and they will. I can't stop it. Can't help it. If I'd been just a couple of movement points closer, if I had maybe traveled to like right here, I could have had another hero do a hero chain, and I could have maybe attacked him without them joining up. I don't think it's likely. I don't think it's likely that I can make this work at this point. Not in the amounts that we're talking about. I think we want to save... I think we want to save resources, though. I think I am thinking about getting up to a level 3 mage guild, maybe? No. We gotta win now. Win now. That's 5 black dragons there. Can we do more? We only have 4. Okay. I still don't hate that decision. Do I bring the Hydras? The slow Hydras? There's 12 of them. I think I got enough gold to spend on everybody else, though. Let's get Minotaur Kings, Griffins, Gargoyles, and then Centaurs, and we are out of gold, so I don't feel bad about leaving the Hydras behind. It's not a great army, but 8 black dragons. That is a load. So let's sally forth. Sally forth. I wonder if I can actually use the AI against itself, and here's how I mean. So we're about to be on a collision course with these enemies, and if we lose, that's bad. I think that rather than having Ariel run in this direction, I think I might be able to bait. Oh, I thought maybe I could like walk by Crodo and make him walk back that way. Because that's not likely, I think that we run away, but I thought maybe I could bait him back away from his support and into me. Since that's not going to happen, we're just gonna chill. Just chill. That's all you gotta do. Just hang out. Keep calm and carry on. I think that that's still a thing that people say. If I'm wrong, let me know. Okay. Whirlpool. We'll worry about that later. For now, Magellans maps is the play. We might be able to get a little bit of a resupply here. This is actually 29 gargoyles. We're going to see what the movement points look like. We're going to be able to get to right here. It might be worth it for Ambrose to go back. We'll see. And Falagar goes north. He does not reach that castle. Kastore runs, as does as does Jerkface McGee. Interesting. Crodo is running, and they're not supporting each other. If they stood and fought, I'd feel really bad, but if you don't want to stand and fight, I feel great about this. I think I even have enough movement to go back. Let me check this. 254, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I'm so fast. Do I have enough to go just 2 sections? I think I will. I'm going to make this work. I've got to get all the forces I can. And I will take the luck. And I don't think I need to be immune to holy spell, so I'm not going to worry about that. Can I still reach? I can. Perfect. Beautiful. Wonderful. Fantastic. Morale doesn't matter. I'm already up to blood. And did I say I wanted this fight? I did. Are we sure we want to go through with that? We do. So let's make this happen. The enemy has fled. It's going to cost him 4 black dragons. It's going to cost us 1. Potentially. It depends on if we misclick or not. There's no guarantees. So, Crodo the Warlock. Oh, he's not too bad to deal with. I don't know where these heroes are getting 10 spell power and 8 knowledge from, but can you hook me up with some of that sweet, sweet damage? Spell power or otherwise. Okay, I'm going to start casting this Disrupting Ray on these Hydras. That's just a big stack of Hydras. And with the defense, that is going to be useful. I am going to send myself across the battlefield. If he hastes the Hydras, they are going to get a good chunk of damage out of me, but I got to kill dragons where I can, I think. Everybody else is flying. Yeah, let's just make this happen. Slow on to the gargoyles. I do like that from him. I think that was a very, very good choice. Very happy to see that he lost all of his gargoyles there. And with no haste, I'm feeling mighty fine about what just happened there. I think that their griffins are going to attack my centaurs. No, they do not. They are focusing on the black dragons, down to 60. 60 black dragons. Our black dragons are going to get to go first, though, by the way, because these Hydras are going to go very, very last, which feels good. 3 to 5 of these griffins. I don't know. Let's just continue to pump damage out onto these black dragons. Ooh, and the Hydras are going forward. Interesting. Interesting. Another Disrupting Ray. And I feel obligated to do the damage to the black dragons. Mass Curse, good spell. One of my black dragons goes down, 240 something spell points left there. Griffins, I'm going to just work on the griffins instead of these minotaurs. 112. Reduced damage feels bad. I think I can actually kill these black dragons without using another shot from my black dragons. Very poor positioning on my part, and I knew it. Why did I go here? I was worried that for some reason the black dragons hadn't taken their turn. Don't ask me why I thought that. Thankfully, we get a little bit lucky. 1, 2. If we attack right here, then we do kill the black dragons, and the Hydras only get a little bit of a nibble. Just a little nibble. That's all I get. 213 hit points here. We're going to kill all of the Minotaur Kings now. And then we can kill here and here and here. I don't know. 10 Hydras, that's a lot of Hydras. I'm guessing that they're going to cast a spell and run. I'm going to back off. I'm not even going to kill one Hydra. I'm just going to back off. Everybody's going to back off. Maybe to right here. Maybe bait in the damage. Nope. He's smart. The AI has gotten better at learning to run. And there was no way I was going to kill 10 Hydras worth of hit points. It was just not going to happen. 750 hit points worth of damage from all my cursed units. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. And I was obligated, I think, to attack the Minotaur Kings. No, you know what? Tell you what I think I could have done. I think that my black dragons could have attacked the Hydras. Maybe I could have done enough damage. And then I think that they wouldn't have run. I think that their Minotaur Kings would have attacked my black dragons. I would have retaliated, killed them all, cleaned up the griffins, and then I might have had enough damage to deal with the Hydras. I think that was a miss, actually, now that I think about it. I think that was a miss. Okay. Misses do happen. These things do happen. Folks, our last slot here. Is it worth it to pick up the estates or the navigation? We've seen a lot of water here. I don't know how useful the water is going to be. But I know how valuable estates is going to be. Let's go for the navigation. Maybe that's going to give us a really nifty opportunity that we otherwise wouldn't be expecting. So let's just give that a shot. We'll see if that's helpful. Okay. And actually, Sarakin is going to let us know after we see this Magellans maps. A retired captain living on this refurbished fishing platform offers to sell you maps of the sea he made in his younger days for 1,000 gold. Do you wish to buy the maps? I do. And so, okay. And it looks like the seas are pretty clear, pretty calm. Oh, there's a Magellans maps there too. Interesting. Okay, what about over here? A couple of boats. Oh, so we already liberated these big patches of resources. There's a couple, it looks like. Interesting. Definitely on this other side. Maybe if we can get to this other side, we're going to be doing nifty. Alamar's in the water. And there's a this is the other whirlpool. I think that there's only 2 whirlpools. I'm gonna sail around this corner just to see what else is here. I may be hopping into the whirlpool with Sarakin. The Seeing Eye Pendant is good. It's not so good that I shouldn't try and be effective with my heroes. Because I think that Sarakin, I mean, if he can find some more gold, I need gold. Down to 3,600. I can use every drop of gold, every ounce of gold that you can give me, I will take. I'm going to send Craghack up. I kind of hope that Falagar turns around and tries to kill me. I don't know if he will. I don't really care, but I'd like to see him try, because that would make my day go much better. Meanwhile, Ruby's going to hit south. Ariel is in the right position to probably head either south or step on the stone lith. Let's try and prevent that stone lith from ever bothering us again. Yeah, let's do that. And I don't know if it's likely for me to get the Xanadu. The Xanadu is so far up here for my main hero, but +1 to all of your stats is kind of a nice deal. We're gonna have to wait and see. Do you feel like you've heard me say I don't know enough? I feel like I've said I don't know a lot in this scenario, and I don't think I can really apologize enough for it. It is what it is. There is this artifact for the +1 morale. I am going to go through the orcs first, I just realized, because my troops are so prone to losing their turn. We're going to grab the ballistics, we're going to grab this Medal of Valor, and then hopefully Vesper is going to feel better with his halflings, orcs, and sprites. Freeing a virtuous maiden from the clutches of an evil overlord, you are granted a Medal of Valor by the King's Herald. That's going to be +1 to the morale. And then might as well just kind of head north. Day 4, windmill, so on and so forth. Let's go back for our resupply here. These Minotaurs can turn into Minotaur Kings pretty quickly. And more, I'm thinking to myself that this area to the south here, this looks so untouched with this dragon city. This observation tower, I think I've seen everything I need to see over here. I'm just gonna go to this whirlpool. I'm just gonna go back to the whirlpool. I know that I can't chase, well, I can chase Kastore. Is it worth it to chase him down? I know I can catch him. I will catch him. I'm too quick, you're too slow. And you struggle through swamp. I do not. So we're going to pick up Kastore. That's going to be, again, an opportunity more for experience than anything. Lest we forget, I mean, my heroes are in this weird spot where they're pretty good, but not great. Level 7 knight. I think that one of the best decisions I could have made, we already made. And that decision was to get a knight-based hero instead of a magic user. I'm thrilled with that decision. I'm never going to regret that. I'm very happy. What was that? There's another hero in the water. Gwyneth, several dragons. Jeez. I've changed my opinion. Folks, I thought I was doing good in this map. I'm doing horrendous. There are multiple castles with dragons. We have 1. We are going to lose this scenario the longer this map goes. We have to hurry. We are already too slow. I can just feel it in my bones. Oh no. I have to land because Gwyneth is in the water, but I don't know where I can go that could get me back to my boats. I think we're just gonna land over here. We're gonna get some scouting in. That's what we're gonna do. Land and get some scouting in. And pretty quickly, I am gonna have to call it a night. It is, in fact, nighttime for me. And I think that we've gotten, well, half of the dragon face revealed, and that's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. And then that's going to give me some time to think about my strategy. That's going to help me think about what I need to do to make this map actually turn into a win instead of a loss. And hopefully that's going to give me the chance to find some new fun things that we can talk about. Bryn Moor. We have a new Warlock Castle here, Bryn Moor. I'm kind of excited to see what happens there. By the way, hoping that Falagar doesn't go immediately south and destroy everything I hold dear. No guarantees. Is Gwyneth gonna come through and reach me? I don't know. Is Kastore gonna continue to waste my time? Probably. Is Sarakin gonna go down? Absolutely. Sarakin, my friend, you might as well just explore what you can. Another Warlock Castle. Bad. That's another castle that's spitting out dragons. Doesn't feel good. Navigation. Sure. Sulfur, 6 of it. Great. And then I think that this is probably going to be the final thing I do here, is I am going to spend my last bit of movement points to go down and defeat Kastore. And apparently it's going to cost me 3 black dragons. I can't possibly believe that, but I have to believe it's true. I have to believe it's true. So this is Kastore the Warlock, 6 attack, 10 defense. He is so tough. Oh, we are so far behind. Oh, we're so far behind. And with only 12 spell points, what do we do here? We do have a curse. We could probably curse goblins. Goblins are actually going to do some amount of damage. Still worried about these Hydras. 19 defense. Never mind. I know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to bring those down to a manageable level. Let's start killing dragons where we can. Gold rings doing tons of damage because you have 16 spell power. Thanks for that, by the way. And I do want to avoid hurting myself. Anywhere that these gargoyles attack, they're in a bad spot. Yeah, anywhere these gargoyles attack, we're in a bad spot because these red dragons are going to want to attack right there. If I attack, I don't know. There's no good place to attack. We're just going to skip with the gargoyles. And we're down to 6 HP on this one dragon here. Let's kill... I don't know. Let's kill the goblins. Trying to eliminate stacks where I can. Dragon goes down. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, this is not good. The disrupting ray is gone. Tell you what, we might just curse. There's still 41 hit points on this dragon here. I'm going to take the double hit onto the griffins. Oh, never mind. They're just going to get lightning bolted to death. And then I'd like to do damage here. I'd like to kill full stacks of creatures where I can. I can't even kill all these sprites with my Minotaur Kings. Goodness. I don't know if the griffins can kill there or not. I'm just going to do it like this. Double hex attack, don't like that. 1, 2, trying to stay away from these Hydras. They're gonna be a pain to deal with one way or the other. Let's just sacrifice the 10 griffins, put them in front so that way we can attack unencumbered. Minotaur Kings can get in here too. Do damage where we can. This terrain is really nice so that you can't get a nice double hex attack off on me. Skip, skip, skip. And we're going to call this a very costly fight, but we are going to come out of this better off than we otherwise would have. Oof. 67 HP. The curse has worn off. We're out of spell points. We're going to kill 2 to 4 of these Hydras here. Good morale. What a good time for good morale. I don't think... Tell you what, I could see Kastore actually not using a damaging spell and wanting to kill this one more black dragon, overstaying his welcome, and then we kill him. Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. Because if you wanna kill this 7 hit points worth of black dragons, you have to stay. And you do. And so are we gonna kill all of you or not? Oh, that's horrible. Let's skip one more time. Bless. Damage. Oh, there's no retaliation. Ugh. Ugh, this is pitiful. I hate this. If you don't get good morale or good luck, 6 attack, 10 defense, 16 spell power, 7 knowledge. But with the power of friendship and good morale, we're gonna take down Kastore. It cost us 3 black dragons. We actually did better in this fight than the AI said that we would, and it was a glorious victory. Please tell me that there's some artifacts on this guy. Spike shield, +2/+2, huge. Witch's brooch of magic, fantastic. Nomad's boost of mobility. Big. Big. Huge. Absolutely massive. Folks, I know that we ran out of space here, but what I've noticed is that the AI has done a pretty good job of, they'll put their best artifacts to the front, and I think internally, yeah, I think internally that's what they did here. It's possible that there was a way better artifact we just missed out on because there was too much going on here, but 4 stats, 3 stats, 3 stats, I could see the Nomad's Boots of Mobility being ranked higher than that. +2, +1, you see what I'm saying? Like, stat-wise and rarity-wise, I think that we might have missed out on a couple of minor artifacts, but this is fine. I can handle this. And while we only have 4 black dragons to our name, our dragons are now going to hit hard. And we're going to have some spell power. We're going to have some defense. That was everything we needed. That was that's +5 defense that we just picked up. Wow. We needed that badly. And so, the question is going to be, will we be able to get back before Falagar takes the Castle of Night Shadow? Will FixFox be able to leverage this new opportunity into a win? Will we uncover the rest of this beautiful looking mini-map and the dragon? Will we continue to be able to survive? Or are we already crushed and we don't know the answer? Time will tell. But that's going to have to come at a later date. We're not even going to finish off with these other heroes. We're going to just sit here with Ambrose tonight and be happy with what we have. Folks, thank you for the time. Thank you for the energy. Grateful for all the good vibes and the great support. Please, as always, look after you, look after your friends, look after your family, because if you don't, who will? I'm looking so very forward to finishing off Dragon Wars in the next one. Until that time, my name is FixFox, and I'm out.